Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. And if you're new here, welcome. This is Kemisi'S Book Corner, where the first Monday of the month we will be reviewing a book related to spirituality, metaphysical things, magical things. And this month we will be reviewing this book called Witch by Lisa Lister. But before we get into it, go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. And don't forget to hit the bell notification to be notified each time I upload a new video. Now, this is the book that we will be reviewing. It's called Witch, Unleashed, Untamed, Unapologetic by Lisa Lister. I hope you guys can see that. This is the side view. Sorry for the glare. As you can see that this is a well-read book, because I kind of did sacrilege to the book, which is kind of broke the back of the book. It is a paper-bound book, paperback. Here is the back. This book, as you can see, I have dog-eared a couple of pages for future reference for me to go back to. And this is one of the first books that I got when I started my spiritual journey. And what intrigued me about this book was, of course, the title. I did do some research, and it got some good reviews, and it also got some negative reviews, and I understand some of the negative reviews. Now, this book I do recommend for beginners that's starting their spiritual journey, and it goes in depth about the meaning of witch. It goes through the history of it. Of course, it goes through the Great Burning, the Spanish Inquisition, of course, Salem, the witch trials. And it gives you that background and why the word witch was placed on people, not just women, but primarily women. And it gives you just that in-depth background, and explains why the term came about, why people were labeled as such. Because we all know when you don't understand things, you come up with things. And when it's something you can't explain, you pretty much call it something else. So women primarily were labeled as witches. You will see more women labeled as witches throughout history. And this just gives you that historical background of it. Also, it encourages you to rely on your intuition. It gives you some insight and some instructions on how to cast circles, create an altar, and create a sacred space. It also helps you work with elements and crystals and support your spiritual practice. This is a really good book to have if you want to go in depth about learning about witches and how the term was actually placed on women, because it gives you that in-depth background. Now, I will say one of the drawbacks of the book, which was when I did my research before picking this book up, because trust me, it took me a couple of times before I picked this book up. At least by the third or fourth time seeing it, I actually picked it up and purchased it and brought it home. Was that it is heavy on feminism. And if you're not really heavy into feminism, that whole movement, this might be, when it gets to those certain parts of the book, it might seem to drag for you. Definitely don't read this at night before you go to bed. because I did that myself, and I found that a couple of times I had to go back and reread a few pages. Never read sleep. That's the worst thing you can do, is read sleep. That's like almost as bad as driving sleep. But this is a really good book to have, because it gives you all of that history and gives you a sense of empowerment. Even though it kind of leans heavy on feminism, but it does make you feel empowered. I know it made me feel empowered. And Lisa Lister did a very great job going through the history of witches and how it was connected to just women in general. It also talks about the Sabbats, the wheel of the year, and the cycles of the moon. It's just really good to have as a reference, and also it helps you rediscover your own power. And it does go very heavily into that. And it does talk about candle magic and how to do it, what to do. It does talk about some herbs. It gives you some spells and some rituals as well. So go ahead and check this book out if you haven't done so. If you have, please let me know in the comment section. I hope you guys will give this a chance. Go out and purchase it, because I thoroughly enjoyed it, and more than likely I will be reading it again, because I really got a great sense of empowerment while I read this. And I just want to reread it to cement some things into my brain. But I really did enjoy this. It does goes into great into some herbs and crystals as well, and how to use those. This is a really good book, good reference book. You can find this book on Amazon. You can find it at Barnes and Noble, or anywhere books are sold. So go ahead and check out Witch by Lisa Lister. I recommend it. But if you're not into feminism, it might drag for you. That section might drag for you. But it is very heavy on feminism in certain parts of the book. But don't be afraid of that. So go ahead and check this book out. Let me know if you're planning on purchasing it, or if you already have purchased it and read it. Go ahead and like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit the bell notification to be notified each time I upload a new video. And I thank you guys for watching. I will catch you in the next one.